Okay, I am going to share with you some of the mathematics that is connected to the 19th semi-prime. In the name of God, the all-gracious, the all-merciful. The 19th semi-prime is 55. Well, what is a semi-prime? Semi-prime is a number made by multiplying two prime numbers. As you can see, we have two sets of numbers here, 19 and 55. 5 is the index of prime 11. Well, we have 55 that consists of two 5s concatenated to each other. So if we have two 5s, then we will have two 11s. And if we concatenate the two 11s, we get 1111, which is the 324th semi-prime. Well, what is 324 is going to tell us mathematically? 324 is the frequency of initials Hamim in chapter 41. So far, God told us mathematically beyond the 19th semi-prime that there are 324 Hamims in chapter 41. Well, let's take a look at the two 11s again. Chapter 11, verse 11 is the 1482nd verse from the beginning of the Quran, and 1482 is the frequency of initials Aleph, Lam, Mim, Ra in chapter 13. So far, 19th semi-prime mathematically told us the frequency of initials Hamim is 324 in chapter 41, and the frequency of initials Aleph, Lam, Mim, Ra in chapter 13 is 1482. Well, what's going to happen if we multiply the two 11s together? We get 121. And 121 is the frequency of initials Tasin in chapter 27. Mathematically, we've been told via the 19th semi-prime the frequency of initials in three chapters, 41, 13, and 27. These three chapters are more connected to each other. 13 prime is 41, and 13th initial chapter is 27. Okay, let's go to the top of the page where we had 5 is the index of prime 11. We're going to start from there. 5 is the index of prime 11, and 11 is the index of prime 31. Now we have 31. Chapter 31, verse 31 contains the 1955th frequency of word God. So mathematically, we've been told the frequency of initials Hamim in chapter 41, frequency of initials Aleph, Lam, Mim, Ra in chapter 13, frequency of initials Tasin in chapter 27, the 1955th frequency of word God is in chapter 31, verse 31. As you can see, it's 1955th. Take a look at top of the page. 19 semi-prime is 55. Well, the index of 1955 is 1657, and 1657 in base 19 is 9127 in base 10. And as we know, 9127 is telling us that chapter 9 has 127 verses and not 129. Mathematically, God told us via the 19th semi-prime that there are 324 initials Hamim chapter 41, that there are 1482 initials Aleph, Lam, Mim, Ra in chapter 13, that there are 121 initials Tasin in chapter 27, that the 1955th frequency of word God is in chapter 31, verse 31, and chapter 9 has 127 verses. Also, 13 initial chapter is 27, and 13 prime is 41. There is no escape. At every turn, every corner, there is going to be something mathematically proving to us that the Quran is the Word of God. Well, what happened if you multiply the 31 and 31 together? We get 961. And 961 is the 798 composite. Well, 798 is the frequency of initials Kaf, Ha, Ya, Ain, Sad in chapter 19. We have been told by the 19 semi-prime the frequency of initials in 4 chapters: chapter 41, chapter 13, chapter 27, and chapter 19. We're also told that chapter 9 has 127 verses, and the 1955th frequency of the word God is going to be in chapter 31, verse 31. As you can see, at every turn, every corner, mathematics is going to prove to us that the Quran is the Word of God. This mathematical information was shared by Dr. Fazili during a Friday prayer. I hope you enjoyed this presentation. God bless. Peace.